Hey everybody, welcome back. 'Tis the season to be petty. Refuse to give the gift you promised my daughter? Fine. I'll take away the gift I got for you. Goody, goody. This year, I got a new job that's been paying me very well. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. Therefore, for this Christmas, I decided to splurge on everyone. Oh, Santa has come to town. In particular, I spend a lot of money on my 9-year-old daughter, and she deserves it 100%. She's been pushing herself in school, helping around the house without being asked, and always being the kindest soul you'll ever meet. We love rewarding good behavior in this house. However, when my mother-in-law came early in the morning and saw how the gifts under our tree were so much more than the usual, she asked why. Is she the Grinch? Is your mother-in-law secretly the Grinch? I told her I bought everyone a bunch of gifts, including her. She then proceeded to ask how much gifts I got my daughter, and I told her about 3 big gifts and 3 mini ones. Apparently, this outraged her because she started saying that a 9-year-old did not deserve that many gifts, and she would be taking away the gifts she bought my daughter so that my daughter wouldn't be too spoiled. I'm sorry. This is your mother-in-law, right? So that's not her daughter, so that she doesn't actually get a say in how your daughter is raised. I told her that was unfair, especially since my mother-in-law promised my daughter a doll for Christmas and my daughter was looking forward to it. My mother-in-law said it'd be a lesson to my daughter that in life that she can't get all the things that she asks for. Okay, I do agree with her point, but I don't know if this is the appropriate time to get that point across. Yes, she's right. You don't get all the things that you ask for in life. In fact, life can be really, really cruel sometimes. However, when you are a good person and you pay it forward and you work really hard and you push yourself and you be the best person that you can be, life does reward you. Might not be the case for everyone. Here's a disclaimer. But it has been the case for me, which is why I, in turn, reward good behavior and want to spoil my friends and family when they are good to me. And just in general, to be honest. Look, I understand that, but it's not like I shower my daughter in gifts every day. I mean, it is Christmas. She's 9 years old. Like... If anything, Christmas is the day you are supposed to spoil your children. But my wife told me to let it go, and it was her mother's gift, and therefore she could do anything she wanted with it, and her mother agreed, saying it was her right. I mean, okay, it's her right to give your daughter a gift or not give your daughter a gift if she wants to or doesn't want to, but she doesn't have a right to tell you how to raise your child. And if we're going to play with that ideology, then so be it. I decided to remove the $600 designer bag I got my mother-in-law. Goody. Good. And if she says anything, just say, life's unfair. Sometimes you don't get everything you want. This bag is the thing I knew she wanted the most, and I gave her a $40 robe instead. Did you put a lump of coal in the pocket? Once my mother-in-law opened her present, she was disappointed. Oh, isn't that rich? Asking if that was all from me, because everyone else got increasingly more expensive gifts from me. Wow, the dramatic irony here. That's funny. I just find that ironic considering, didn't she also say that you can't get everything in life? I said yes and apologized if I disappointed her, but we can't always get the gifts we hope for. Oops. Oopsie. This left both her and my wife extremely furious, but hey, the mother-in-law got enough gifts, I wouldn't want to spoil her. Honestly, you're just looking out for her at the end of the day. God forbid she learns that she gets everything that she wants, especially when she's being a Scrooge. I love how her immediate response to seeing all of these wonderful gifts is not,
wow, I'm just so happy for you. I'm so happy for you that you have the means to be able to spoil your friends and your family on Christmas.
It's not that. It's,
well, that isn't gonna work for me. You don't want your child to be spoiled.
Listen, you have a little success in life, you share it with the ones that you love. And if anybody's got a problem with it, they can shove it where the sun don't shine. Once I was invited to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and I made a sweatshirt with all the women my ex-husband slept with while we were still married on it. I posted a photo wearing it to my Facebook and it blew up. Oh, okay, so it also says ho 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 on it. Good for you, bestie. One of them called my job to try to have me fired. Instead, I got a raise that day. Think long and hard before you come at me. I'm not the one. Not today, sweet pea. I'm sorry. So they called your job and called your boss and told them that they were unhappy with the fact that you made a sweater with their face on it because they had an affair with your husband. Sweetheart, shush, shush. This is not your time to talk. And you look so happy. So happy doing it. Look at this face. Look at this happy, petty little face. Oh, okay, we got a part two. We got a story time. Someone commented, it really depends on if they knew he was married or not. If they didn't, then that's cruel. But if they all knew, then sure. Okay, I guess they've got a point, I guess. Take the fun out of everything.
So there's a lot of people in the comments wanting to know if they knew that he was married. I live in a very small town. I can't even go to Kroger without seeing like 3 people that I know. They definitely knew he was married. One of them was invited to my wedding. Didn't come. The other one, she works for his mother at a daycare. And I don't think that mine was the only father of people in her classroom that she slept with, from what I've heard. But she had definitely met our son. So the one at the daycare is the one that called my job and tried to have me fired. I answered the phone, I figured out it was her. Figured out what she wanted to talk about, and understand that I was the only employee at this place at the time. We worked at a t-shirt shop. She called, and my boss's wife got on the phone with her and told her that she wasn't going to come into our shop making problems, and if she didn't like the heat, that she needed to stay out of the kitchen.
Period!
And then she got on Facebook and started running her mouth about me, and I called my ex-mother-in-law, who was her boss, and she shut that shit down really quick. For those asking about the sweatshirt, I made the sweatshirt myself. We had a $10,000 DFX machine, which prints white ink on any sort of shirt. So I had used that process to make the sweatshirt. So it's not like I had it custom made or anything. Like, I physically made the shirt. I was that devoted. So unfortunately, like, I don't know how to tell you how to make them without this machine, but I think you can order them on Etsy. If I can find a link, I'll try to send it to you guys.
Noted. Write that down.
They definitely knew he was married.
Write that down.
Years ago. This is nothing recent. I'm happily remarried now. My kids are bigger, and they don't really remember any of this, thank God. But yeah, they knew. They knew and had met our child. And one is still employed by his mother.
Yeah, safe to say they deserved it. Yeah. Nah, he should have been on the shirt. That's a good point. I don't understand why we're just getting mad at the women. Like, let's be honest, it's also his fault. Takes 2 to tango, honey. I once went to an ugly Christmas sweater for like the old company that I used to work for that I hate. And I showed up wearing a sweater with a mirror taped to it. And I have to say, that was probably one of my better jokes. And no one laughed. Not a single person found that funny. God, I should have won that. I should have won that competition. I'm still bitter about it. For the record, this boss made my life hell. Okay. My small amount of petty revenge. And by the way, if you guys want to steal that, go into a party with people that you hate. But even then, like, you know, it's funny. If you're lighthearted and it's funny and you see a person wearing an ugly Christmas sweater, it's got a mirror on it.
I mean, come on.
It's so funny. Just me? Okay, that's fine. Oh my God, not defending the home-wrecking woman who took care of y'all's son. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that here. The time I pulled a Grinch moment ruining my roommate's Christmas tree. Oh, okay. Oh, we're a little Grinchy, are we? Everybody gets a little Grinchy over the holidays. Come on. Maybe it's the lack of sunlight. Maybe it's the crippling depression. Maybe it's Maybelline. Realistically, I feel like the Grinch is just a metaphor for seasonal depression. Do you like my nails? I'm a little Grinchy today. Sup, festive, Charlotte?
Let's talk about the time I pulled a Grinch moment on my old roommates ruining their Christmas tree.
Goody.
So, 7 years ago, I had 2 roommates. It was my friend and her boyfriend. We all lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, right? And it was Christmas time, and they set up a beautiful Christmas tree. They even did the cute little couples pictures in front of the tree, you know, Feliz Navidades, right? So, that same day, they just put up the tree. Her and I got into a huge argument over text, right? And this petty Pisces ass, okay, pulled a Grinch moment, and I kicked that tree down as hard as I possibly could. But not only did the tree fall over and the tree topper broke, I just knew I couldn't fix the situation, okay? I knew I was so I got clever. Okay, I got clever. All right, so we had 3 cats in total. She had 2. I had 1. And I thought,
you blamed on the cat?
I'm going to get the ornaments, and I'm going to get the cats to, like, play with them, and right? And I set up this crime scene, framing the cats, making it seem like the cats knocked over the tree and did it.
Wow.
Now here is a screenshot of what the tree looked like that fell over. And she even said, this is what it's like living with cats. And now here's the second screenshot of me finally admitting it, actually today, this morning, finally confessing that it was me and not the cat.
Yeah, but I was more of a you even know. I did something to this day that you have no idea about that I should come clean about. Okay, I'm glad you admitted it. It was kind of awful. Like, that is kind of terrible. Oh man, it's been 7 years, so I think it's time. Remember at our old apartment when the cats knocked over the tree topper was broken, and you walked in on them playing with the ornaments? Well... That day we got into a big fight over text. I was so mad I pulled a Grinch moment and kicked the tree as hard as I could. Once I saw the tree topper broke, I knew I could simply adjust back in place. So I got the cats to play with the ornaments and make them think they were toys. Staged the crime scene and framed the cats. It wasn't the cats, it was me. You and your ex just put that Christmas tree up and took cute pics too. Oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. I was such a hat. Hey, at least you apologized. 7 years later, but still, better late than never.
Luckily, we were able to laugh about it now. But yes, that was the time I pulled the second most petty thing ever in my life, and I pulled a real life Grinch moment.
If that's the second pettiest thing that you've ever done, I'm wondering what the first was, because that's pretty petty, babe. Hilarious! I'm really curious to know what the fight was about.
So I'm curious if this happened in anyone else's family or if it was just my petty grudge-holding Irish mother. But every year when she would get ready to send out her Christmas cards, she would get her supplies together, like the big box of cards she was going to write out, and this Christmas card list that was like pages and pages of names. And she also had a stack of cards that we had received from people the previous Christmas. And she would go through a list and she would start with somebody, Mary Smith. And the first thing she would do was pull out the cards from the previous year and try to find Mary's card. And if there was one from Mary, then she would write out the card and put it in the pile to be mailed. If Mary, for whatever reason, didn't send a card that year, then she was persona non grata. She would be crossed off the list, and that was the end of it, never to receive a card again. And of course, the only exception to this would be if, for whatever reason, in a week or two, if a card from Mary came in the mail, then she would be re-added to the list and she would write a card out and mail that card back to Mary.
Whoa.
And I remember thinking as a kid, like this whole season about is like love and the spirit of giving, and, all those kind of things. And I thought, man, this is like the pettiest thing I've ever seen. And she did this all her life. So it occurred to me that the modern day version of this, at least on my end, is when I'm on Facebook and I get a notification from, telling me that it's so-and-so's birthday, the very first thing I do is go to my page, scroll back to when my birthday was, and I see if that person took the time to wish me happy birthday. And if they did, I will then happy birthday on their page and send it.
Oh, wow.
If there is no birthday wish, then of course I'm not going to say happy birthday to them. So apparently I am just as petty as my grudge holding Irish mother. But I guess my question is, did this happen in anybody else's families? Did you have this Christmas card list, and were there like grudges held, and was there keeping track of whether or not somebody sent you a card, or did your mom just keep a list and mail it out to everybody regardless if they sent her one, and then maybe add somebody if a new person happened to send a card that year? So let me know, because I just want to know if it was just my petty ass family.
Wow, I can't believe this Mary woman lives rent-free in your mom's head to the point where she will make a list and check it twice. You know what I'm saying? She was going through that list, and if Mary... Stop! We're done! We're done with Mary! Come to think of it, though, like the birthday thing... Like, okay, if someone doesn't wish you a happy birthday, it's gonna bother you a little bit. I won't go as far as to not wish them a happy birthday. I will send them a very, very nice message just to be like, bigger person, I'm loving the bigger person, but I'm also doing it with petty in mind. But if someone bails on my birthday party and doesn't have a good reason, I won't go to their birthday party. I won't. Sorry. Don't care. I think at the end of the day, your Irish mother wants Mary not to, because then she doesn't have to. But in the spirit of Christmas, we have to give everything to everyone. Be so nice to everybody. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. We're just joking, guys. We're just being funny. I'm referring to myself as like, you know, more than one person because of my alter ego. Where's Sharklaw? I wish I had like a little mini Christmas hat. Handbag.
It is officially Christmas season, and the one thing I'm always going to hear as I'm doing Instacart through the stores is parents threatening their kids about not having a Christmas.
Oh, yes, yes.
I was in the store yesterday, and I think this girl had to be 12 or 13, and she was telling her mom that she wanted a new iPhone, and she wanted a new iPad, and she was going down the list of that she wanted for Christmas, and her mom was like, and just smiling along. I kid you not, after that girl was finished, her mom was like, well, I wanted you to get good grades. I wanted you to stop talking bad. I wanted you to clean your room. I wanted you not to get suspended. I wanted you to not have that boy in my house. I wanted you not to sneak out the window to go sneak off with a boy. She was running that girl through.
Period, as she should.
The good old thing that I've heard ever since I was a child. People in hell want ice water. It doesn't mean they're going to get it. Y'all have got to stop using Christmas against these kids. It's horrible.
Hey, it's not us. It's Santa. Santa! Making a list and checking it twice, finding out if you're naughty or nice. And this little... was naughty. You get rewarded for good behavior, not bad behavior. Also, just the audacity to just like go down the list and like ask for things. Like to this day, I have never like told my parents.
I want this for Christmas.
And not to mention things that are like really expensive. I'm too naughty for that. I know I'm not gonna get it, okay? I know I'd be misbehaving, so I don't even ask.
Alright guys, so for those of you that don't know, maybe have not been with me for a while, earlier this year, my mother called CPS on me because I refused to let my oldest daughter go to the lake with them. There was going to be drinking, water, and lots of strangers. Yeah, that wasn't happening. So this was early, right before COVID hit.
You have a text.
And I refused to let her go. So my mother got pissed, called CPS, made up a bunch of lies, and had them sent to my home. Obviously nothing came of it. They were here for a total of like 30 minutes. Which was just 30 minutes of me shooting the with this very nice lady who was confused as to why she was in my home. I hold a grudge forever. And I'm still months later. My little sister is 9 years old, the same age as my oldest daughter. She's going to be picking the shit out of her carpet for months.
You move in the shadows. Don't worry, the naughty or nice list also applies to adults. Remember, this is the season for giving, for jolly good times, for spending time with your loved ones. But don't forget, it's also the season to be petty. Subscribe